So I'm glad to bring up to the stage again our friend Janet from Chicago. But before I do, or well, as I do,
I was going to say, I actually had to get a license plate for my car that said CHI for Chicago on it, and afterwards says Shag Poet. And that is my license plate on my car.
wow, really?
Yeah.
Welcome to Texas.
And it's on Texas Place, yes.
Indeed. Well, let's bring up Janet. Come on, give her some love.
I know, but you don't know how many cracks I get for it. That's sort of like the last thing. But thank you, Frank.
Please bring to the stage again Janet from Chicago and Affection.
He asked me to come up with 3 from another book, and because I have lived here for 2 years, I went back to Chicago for a couple features and for seeing the total eclipse of the sun last August, and while doing that I said I better have a book release of things that I've written in Texas, and one of them is this book here, Pharaoh Memes, 2015-2017 poems. Yes, Pharaoh Memes is not a word. It's just that if you can be attracted to somebody's pheromones, maybe you're attracted to their memes or their ideas. And it's really easy to find on the internet since it's not even a word, I guess. This is really low light. And this is the first one in the book that I'd like to share with you. It's called X-Rays and Broken Hearts. X-rays of small children show 2 rows of teeth. Because once baby teeth are just too small for the child, adult teeth kick in and push out those baby teeth. And they push them out, breaking through the gums and taking over the job. And this is really remarkable. I mean, it's not like your hair, which is always growing out, and even though your skin is your largest human organ, it's not like shedding and growing more skin. It's not like, cutting yourself and watching an organ heal. These are like bones, because even your body knows before you're born what you need in life. And I wonder why geneticists haven't figured out why we humans may need a new heart, a backup, after it's been broken too many times. Because after you've been fired and somebody from there watches you collect your belongings into a box and escorts you out forever, or after you've written, you can't remember how many resumes and sent them out, and even if you're actually called for an interview, they never want you back. Or after you find your true love, your one true love, well, that's when they move away to get away from you forever. Or after your family dies and you're alone. After it feels like your heart is always about ready to break, it makes me wonder why geneticists haven't figured it out. We may need a backup. Our heart can only take so much. One thing I've never been in shows. This is a piece that is called Over the Cracks. I don't need you. I can stand alone. I don't need you. And you think there's more to it than that, but no, there isn't. Well, sometimes you just have to do what you just gotta do, and you just get it done. I mean, it's like when you're doing something, you have to worry, well, how does people actually do it? You have to remember, if people maybe if they're actors or actresses on a stage, they really don't know what they're doing. The directors don't even really know what they're doing, but they've got to actually just figure it out. Well, life is like that sometimes. Sometimes you've just got to figure out what the world is made of, and sometimes you just have to survive all the crap that's thrown in your general direction. So sometimes it's important to understand that I don't need all of these crutches that people usually give themselves, but it's true. I don't need you, and I get along fine without you. Sometimes you can avoid the cracks, but sometimes the cracks open up to a gorge and they suck you down and they swallow you whole. just try to avoid the cracks or leave and make sure you can crawl your way out from that empty chasm. And then shake off the demons from the abyss after you've managed to break free. After I live through something like this, do I feel any different? Should the world be now revolving at a different pace? Or is everyone just used to the change of the Earth's speed that changed when it actually happened? Or is it something that they just never actually chose to think about? Was the world just always, were everyone always just used to the world changing this way on them? So many people go through life without having emotions, or they have a lack of feeling or a lack of thought. And I have never been asked to function that way. I've never been able to just let life pass by. Maybe life stepped on me a few times. Maybe it just opened up its cracks and it made me have to battle against humanity. Maybe those cracks opened up so that I would be left on the ground with nothing under my feet. Gravity, like death, pulls me into the abyss, and I had to claw my way until my fingers were bloody from scraping, and I bled rivers, the oceans filled with my sweat, until I was able to break free before Earth's gravitational well. Well, you know what I'm getting at. We all have to deal with these silly metaphors in the first place. Maybe life is just cruel that way. Maybe life is just stepping away and you just happen to be in the way, and well, maybe life just accidentally stepped on you. Because it could do that when it opens up its cracks. It can do that to you that way. Well, at times like that, you just have to keep ready and actually be ready for a battle. Maybe not a battle you were planning on taking, but you have to be ready for in the first place for it. Because sometimes you just have to make sure that you'll have to be ready for a conflict like that. Even if it never happens and it actually doesn't come to get you, you have to be ready for it possibly happening. This is a potential problem. You just have to be ready just in case it happens. And I tell you, I've made myself ready. I've had to. And that is why I want you to understand that there's nothing more to it. And I just don't need you anymore. Way too done, so I'm going to have to. And I was going to do a depressing death one, since a lot of people seem to be doing that one. But then I saw this one here, and I have to share this one with you. And it's called "Your Imaginary Soul Weighs 21 Grams." Different cultures call it different things. Your spirits, your soul. I know that we creatively believe that there's something special we possess. But this elusive, imaginary creature that lives within us causes much debate. Does it even exist? Is the soul real? So I found it funny that a doctor 100 years ago wanted to measure the weight of a soul. He found people sick, dying, and then he weighed them just before they were about to die. And then he weighed their corpses right after death. And what do you know? There was a weight difference to these people. The doctor found that each person was about, well, less than an ounce lighter, or actually about 21 grams. And this doesn't prove anything. But it makes me wonder, is 21 grams the weight we carry for our soul? Or do some souls carry more from the weight of the world? Is that why we're forced to share our stories, to lift our burdens, so that our invisible soul won't weigh us down anymore? Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, give Janet another round of applause. Come on.